I worked as a model there, you know. I think I got some alcohol poisoning there at least once.
Even in the beginning, I didn't mention any podcast name because I just don't simply have one.
7 people left during the end of my set. They went out. I was like, with the microphone, like, why the f are you leaving now? And they were like, f off. And then they just left. And it was probably because I did a joke about
My first podcast guest is Richie Schäfer. He's a professional stand-up comedian with many viral sketches on Instagram and does shows all over Germany. He's also one of my closest friends. We actually started doing comedy around the same time and met at a comedy show in Berlin back in September 2019. He held the camera for me, then I held the camera for him, and since then we've been on this journey together. Shows, laughs, even pandemic, and now podcasts. We talk about one show we did together where he had a great performance and I bombed like crazy. Creativity and failure in comedy, friendship, and much more. Let's dive in. Awesome, Richie. Thank you so much for joining the podcast.
hello.
Awesome that you're here. It's been quite a setup. I mean, here it's also really hot. I'm sweating like crazy. I don't know if you can actually see. You're looking fresh as always. Looking really,
Namaste.
really good. And
Yes.
thank you so much for joining this. Actually, you're the first guest. I had a podcast before with Ali. And I wrote him actually also to do the first, just out of courtesy also, you know. But you're first. And
So I'm just second best
you
choice, you mean?
no, dude, no, it's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like that. You look offended. I'm sorry, dude. I obviously I thought of you because you can already see in your background your podcast studio, which is absolutely amazing. Your podcast studio is launching very, very soon, right? And it's absolutely amazing. It's in German, but it's absolutely fantastic. And dude,
Thank you.
we just got started. We were talking. You mentioned you had great performance just the other day. Could you tell us a bit more?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the invite, dude. I mean, I love it. I love what you're doing. We've started comedy together, so I always feel connected to you, even though we live in different countries. So thank you for the invite. Thank you for the chat. I'm doing good, man. I was in Leipzig, so 2 hours south of Berlin. A couple of days ago, I had a recording session there. So it was a 15-minute set, and they recorded in 4K. And I'm 6 years into stand-up now, like 5 or 6 years. And yeah, I finally have the courage to get some of my stand-up out there. I was always like hesitant, and now I'm at the level in my head where I'm also like, all right, I don't want to wait any longer. I don't want to have this limiting mindset of, I have to keep my jokes to myself until I play my solo. And then on my solo, I can give those jokes out. Now I want to give now because at first I was thinking I can't film my stand-up and put it out there because I only have a limited amount of jokes. And now I have a new belief of, dude, I have infinite jokes in me. Like creativity is endless, and I have an abundance of creativity that's flowing through me. So that helped also to say, hey, let's take some of the stuff that you're proud of and let's just put it out there and let people know. And that was on Friday, and it was cool, man. I had a good time. 7 people left during the end of my set. They went out. I was like, with the microphone, like, why the fuck are you leaving now? And they were like, fuck off. And then they just left. And it was probably because I did a joke about a Third World War, you know, like, anyway, it's, the joke is like,
What was it? Yeah, I was about to say, what was the joke?
the joke is like, and it's in German, and it's, tough times nowadays. Nobody wants a Third World War, nobody, but how crazy would it be if Germany wins this time? Like, what a comeback that would be. And played around with that idea. And usually people love it, and like 20% hate it, at least, of the crowd. But yeah, most people liked the joke, or most of them loved it. They laughed, and then like some people got offended. It's all right. It's
Dude, no
Yeah.
risk, no reward, right?
yeah, and I love this joke. People love it, and it's I'm really looking forward to getting it out there. Like as soon as I get the recording, and yeah, the energy was fantastic. I was happy, and so that was Friday, and also I learned some stuff, man. I still, even though it's like half a decade in now, I learned so much, like how I can't actually handle the pressure of killing, even if it goes well. I look down, I try to relativate, or like relativieren, the English word. Like, even though jokes works well, I'm kind of putting myself a bit down, like, just kidding, guys. I'm doing like this. So it was a great set, but also a great learning, and I'm looking forward to working on that now.
Right. How would you actually how would you do it differently that you go on a roll? So actually, just to give you context, I mentioned it on your podcast when we recorded like 2 weeks ago. I think because usually when you do a longer set, there's just that part where you lose momentum, you lose energy in the room. It just happens because it's such a long set. And there's just one time I saw it when someone on stage killed so hard and not only maintained the momentum, but kept it growing steadily and ended on a high. I've just not seen that before, except for one time. That was your set when you hadn't done English comedy for months, I think. And then I even asked you, like, dude, should I record? And you're like, nah, it's okay. And then we still regret that, right? Could you explain what for you it looks like? Because I haven't seen it since, and I haven't seen it before, where someone maintains it so much, where everyone's really on the edge of their seat, till the end. And so, can you explain what that would look like killing? And you mentioned the opposite. How does actually the killing look like?
Well, it's two different things. One of them is the situation that you described, where we played a show together maybe 2 or 3 years ago, right, in Berlin in the summertime. And I think what happened there was just I had not put any pressure on myself. I was like, let's have fun with Pascal. This is English. I usually do German comedy. Let's just have a fun time. And I was really in the moment, I would say. I didn't stress too much, and I had just overall, it just flowed. Like, I wasn't really thinking about myself or the set. I was just really in the moment, and it was a nice mix of material and then crowd work, and then that flowed into material again. It just all, I think it came out of a lack of pressure that I put on myself, and then I was able to be in the moment. And what's happening now, like on Friday in Leipzig, was there's a certain pressure I put on myself when the camera's on and when I want to be good. There's like just a different mindset, and you can have that before the set, but during the set you shouldn't waste any thoughts about what am I actually doing right now, or this has to be great. I mean, all the great comedians, they say that you want to get again into a situation of flow where you don't think about the time or the place. You're just in the moment and focus on the story you're about to tell or your connections with the audience. And I guess self-consciousness is the thing that gets you out of that. And yeah, on Friday, I still got into moments of self-consciousness where I was like, oh, the joke worked. Oh, there's actually a nice applause. Oh, fuck, man, that's a really big laugh. How can I follow this up with my next joke? Like thinking, coming out of the moment, self-consciousness.
Right. Thinking during the performance. Okay.
Yeah. And that's the killer, I think, for being present, is you're zooming out, you're like taking yourself out of it, and the people can feel it. And
sorry, keep going, please.
I think that what I just learned there is there's a part of me where I'm still like ashamed or afraid. And I mean, Gustav Jung, he calls it the shadow. So that shadow part of us, and that's what I want to work on nowadays. Like, my shadow is, I grew up, and you know me like that. I'm pretty similar to you, a very chill guy, I really hope for empathy all the time and compassion, and I really hope people like me, and I want to make everybody have a good time, and that's my main focus. But that's also, I'm afraid of confrontation, and I'm afraid of really standing up for myself, because I am afraid people won't like me. So, and that part of me, and that's the part of every great entertainer, is he doesn't care, or she doesn't care about the crowd too much. The most valuable thing for them is, hey, I have to really be myself here, and I have to fully commit to my jokes. And if you fully commit, there's no room for thinking about yourself. And that's what I'm working on now. Like, they call it the shadow integration. So I know now where it comes from, why I'm not committing to my bits, because I'm scared if I commit. An old program from childhood, if I'm too loud, if I'm too in your face, then I will suffer somehow. Then my parents will ignore me, or I will get a bad feedback from my grandparents or whatever. Like, that's an old program I'm now trying to rewrite by practicing holding a silence, by practicing just breathing before I say something on stage. Like, there's certain exercises I'm doing now to integrate the shadow, like to integrate the part of me that is already there and that is necessary to be a great performer, but that part of me that I'm a little bit afraid of, or that I'm afraid of expressing because fear of rejection and
Right.
stuff like that. It's like, man, I was last week, we were at the lake with a friend of mine, and there was like a swing into the water. You have to climb up like 5 meters, and then you can swing into the water. Me and my friend, we swing into the water. It's amazing. And then there's a woman coming with her boyfriend, and she's like standing there, and she's freezing. She's on this thing, but she can't jump. And we all tell her, just don't be afraid. Just jump. Nothing can happen. Nothing can happen. And she just couldn't do it. She was like, and then pulling back, and then, maybe. And then we kept talking to her and giving her all those examples, but she couldn't do it. And I was like, fuck, man, I'm not like that. I can just swing into the water. But on stage, I'm exactly like that. I get afraid, and then I can't commit. I'd rather pull back.
Right.
And from the
Oh, that's
outside, it
good.
looks so simple, you know? From the outside, you just jump, just be yourself, just have fun. You know your jokes are working. But you have to, inside, you have to have the strength and the tools or the belief that, hey, nothing's going to happen if I just jump now. Nothing's going to happen if I'm loud now with this joke.
Right. Dude, how do you do it? Because I often also don't know when it goes well. Do you look at the people? Do you look up? I mean, just like you said, the opposite would be look down, chuckle, and play yourself down like, that's just me. Or say something, comment on the laugh. But I always wonder what's the best, because, I mean, it really varies also. Even the greats, the best comedians out there, some laugh at their own jokes. Some just stay silent. Some look around and smile. I mean, it's very, very different. What do you think is the most natural and best way to maintain this? Since you've had it before, since you really mastered that.
Yeah. I wish I could see the video, you know, to see what I did there, you know. I mean, you maybe remember how I reacted, where I looked, where my face was. But I think because I was not afraid in that moment, I was able to look people in the eyes and just stay present, don't look down. And I mean, depends on what kind of comedian you want to become. I mean, Mark Normand, he can't handle silence, right? He's like, after every punch, like, oh, ooh, oh, hey, and then to the next.
Right.
You want to be that guy. You want to be, I mean, Shane Gillis, he like sometimes holds the pause, which is nice. He's like, like, right. He's still like Mark Norman, like Norm Macdonald, a bit like holding a pause and then laughing about it. Depends on who you want to be, but I think holding a silence is very powerful, and that's something I am aiming towards. Because then also the crowd can feel like you're in control, that you're owning yourself, that you're actually. And I think this is inspiring and goes deeper than stand-up. It's more like an inspirational, like, human trait of somebody who's owning their personality and is not afraid. Like, that inspires us. Like, that's if you're a musician or a fighter or just somebody who speaks up when something bad happens, like, we look up to those people because they're not afraid. It's bigger than themselves. Like, they're opening themselves up for. Like they have their certain values, and then they stand up for that. And we as humans, we love that. We want to see that. And I think that's what entertainment is for, also, to get to inspire others a little bit on the way, or just by being fully yourself, you know?
Right. Well, let's actually, how did you actually become an entertainer? What inspired you to start with comedy? Obviously, you're a funny dude, and we started around the same time. So that was now 6 years ago in the summer, or September is when we met. September 2019. How did you get into comedy? What was your first inspiration?
I mean, probably Joe Rogan. I've been listening to Joe Rogan Experience like since 2012, I think, when I was in South Korea.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I was like some of the first episodes. I listened to that. And they kept talking about jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and stand-up comedy. And then when I moved to Berlin, like 10 years ago, I started,
That's how you started with jiu-jitsu as well?
Yeah.
Really?
10 years ago, I went to jiu-jitsu when I was new to Berlin. And a year later, I also went to a stand-up show for the first time. And then I waited for like 3 or 4 years before I actually did it. But I followed the scene and kept going to shows.
Oh, wow, dude, that's amazing. How did you get into the Joe Rogan podcast in the first place?
Man, I don't remember really. I was just bored. I was living abroad and I didn't have many friends, and I somehow found it on YouTube. I don't know how. But it was somehow it got into my YouTube algorithm. Um, yeah, not really sure. Probably one little clip. I don't remember which clip it was that got me started there, but I found something where they talked about something and they clipped it, and put it as
Yeah,
YouTube clip. And I watched that
yeah,
clip and I was like, this is interesting. I like the way he speaks. I like the way he looks at the world, because it was kind of, I don't know, something clicked. Like it felt like authentic to me, or a part of me felt inspired. Kind of, I want to be like those guys speaking there.
yeah.
So I went to check them out more.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
amazing. And now you're a purple belt in BJJ and you're killing it on stage, and soon your podcast as well. That's absolutely amazing. How's your, I mean, because especially the last months, I feel like you were always a bit more spiritual also, but
Mm.
like the spiritual journey, I feel like you went into it more. Do you mind if we talk about that a bit?
Oh yeah, sure. I think also like the first time spiritual, I didn't grow up like that. My grandma was Protestant, like Christian, but we just prayed in the evening when we were kids, and that was okay. But that's it. That was my contact with the church. But then also, I think through just living in Berlin, moved here 10 years ago. I mean, on the Joe Rogan Experience, they talked a little bit about it. And then here, my friends through jiu-jitsu, some of them were a bit spiritual, they were into, I know if you go clubbing here in Berlin, like my friends, they were like, let's do jiu-jitsu together. And we went to techno raves and all that stuff. One of my friends is a music producer. So we went to raves together. We experimented with psychedelics a bit, And I think that opens you up to spirituality also, because once you take psychedelics once, you see this different dimension, or you change you come into a different realm of consciousness, and you kind of, there's more to what the eye can see.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, just out of curiosity, just stuck around a bit and read some things about it. And then like a year ago, I started coaching, here in Berlin
Right.
with Maurice, with my coach, great guy. And he's a Zen Buddhist, and so I got introduced to Zen Buddhism there. And from there on, just read a little bit about that. And now we both read the same book, Outwitting the Devil, right, by Napoleon Hill. He's more of a Christian, but he also talks about in spiritual terms, like there's the devil that's trying to possess you, and how do you actually find your way out of drifting? Like, how do you become like a non-drifter, somebody who is definite in their aim, which is also many religions have that. Like, you really have to have a strong belief and a goal, which is also like a success thing, right? Like, people who are successful, they have a definite aim and a goal that they walk towards too. And I think religion has that too. And then just step by step, like, got more and more into it. And nowadays I'm praying every day. Like, every day in the morning I'm praying,
Really?
being thankful for what God is giving me, and also for like future things that he will give me. Like, I think I'm already having them now, like an abundance of resources and of great people in my surrounding that push and support me, and the gift of being able to do stand-up comedy and all of those things. And yeah, just feels good. And I think spirituality has been with us humans forever. Like, no matter which
Right.
tribe you study from thousands, 10,000s of years ago, they all had that kind of stuff. So like a realm of supernaturality where they looked up to and looked for guidance, or like for safety in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you
How
think
about you?
I'm just wondering. So I grew
Mhm.
up Christian. We talked about it also, I think, on your podcast, and I was just thinking, because I was, especially in the Berlin comedy scene, I was made fun of a lot for being Christian, and I felt like that was especially pre-COVID, even though it was just like 6 months, obviously, until COVID hit, and then during COVID, especially in the times when it was really rough in the pandemic, when we had the lockdowns, I felt like some people actually shifted their opinion. And I just, because they noticed, like, oh man, actually, life does seem a bit empty without community.
Ah,
And they were talking, I think, more about the community aspect.
yeah.
And so I wonder if it's because I do think more and more it's kind of, I feel like more people are kind of also getting a bit back. Several of my friends, you, other friends also. And I wonder if it's just age, us getting older, or is it also general shift in society where people, and I don't mean becoming a Christian or whatever. It can be even without religion, but just spending more
Like a
time with.
like a global spiritual awakening. That's what you mean?
Yeah. But people want to have more than just, is this all there is? And they want to be connected to other people.
Totally. Yeah. No, I think it's definitely happening. And I mean, COVID was probably, as horrible as it was, maybe a catalyst for that feeling of,
Right.
hey, I don't want to be by myself. I value community now much more.
Right.
I mean, COVID boosted stand-up also, our branch, like insanely,
Yeah.
right? Like stand-up grew so much because people were like, oh, fuck, it's actually nice to laugh together and be in a room together. And
Yeah, dude. I mean, I imagine the first times when we were back, oh my God, it was so much fun.
yeah.
It was
But I think,
amazing. Like, it felt like community is back.
yeah. And I mean,
The-
people in general, I think we're just realizing now how great life is. And that the best things in life are like shared memories, right? With your friends, with your family. Like that's
100%.
the basics. The basics. I think
Yeah.
we're slowly getting back to basics. We come to a point where life can be so easy and everything is so affordable and doable for most people. I mean, still there's struggle, right? Obviously, everybody's struggling, no matter what pay gap or pay grade you're in.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's just, there's some sort of awakening now where people are just realizing, hey, the cool thing is actually just hanging out together and making fun memories.
I think so.
Or
Yeah,
growing
for sure.
together.
For sure. I mean, they also say like young people want to spend more in experiences than material goods, because people are
Yeah.
realizing, okay, I'd rather have the trip with my friends or my family than buy this car. And people also don't drive as much, I guess, in cities anymore, at least in Europe. So
Thanks to our forefathers, though. I mean, they had the Second World War, which is horrible.
yeah, jeez.
And then they had to build up the whole world again, or at least like our part of the world, like the European world. They had to build that up again. And then our parents were born into this mess, and they were like their parents were war struck and like with PTSD. And then our parents grew up with them as parents.
Yeah.
They kind of figured their way out, built up a big economy again in Europe. And now we are this third generation after the war. And we're like, they've rebuilt our whole continent. They kind of got an economy going. And we are now able to like just snack the fruits of their labor and kind of also learn from them maybe what they did wrong. I mean, the whole thing with alcohol, so many young people don't drink alcohol now anymore, or much less.
Yeah, you don't drink at all, right? Or barely?
Sometimes, yeah. I drank on Saturday a bit, but usually not so much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had my time though. I had my time, yeah.
Yeah,
Especially-
okay. Well,
Yeah.
dude, how did you even end up like going to Australia actually? Because you, like, you're not even from Dresden, but from a smaller town. Did you always want to get away? I mean, like Australia is the furthest possible. Did you I mean, I assume that's what you're talking about, right? In Australia, you're drinking a lot.
Yeah, and in Korea also.
Of
In
course.
Australia, it's the first time I actually like really drank alcohol. Like I was just 18 and away from home. My first Christmas.
Right.
I mean, I've sipped alcohol before. Yeah, I did a lot of sports. No, just from my swimming club. Like when I was in high school, from my swimming club, people that I looked up to, they went to Australia and they all said, hey, it's a great thing. If after high school, you should do it. It's amazing. And I was always very curious about life. And nothing was holding me in my little village, I was like so looking forward to getting out. Maybe even, I mean, I wasn't in my head, oh, I need to get out of my village. I'm so bored here. I'm going to go to Australia. I was more like just the thought of being abroad in a different continent. I didn't even think about it too much. I was just like, yeah, let's go for sure. I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to save up some money and then I will do just what they did. They did it. They loved it. So it's got to be safe and it was affordable. I worked. I saved some money for it. I was really in love with my German girlfriend and she broke up and I was like, oh, fuck, I have nothing that holds me anymore. And that was actually, it was good, So
looking back, it was good. But in the moment, damn.
Yeah, painful.
That's why you were drinking so much in Australia at first.
Uh,
Drinking the pain away. Fuck.
Yeah, and then the next girlfriend came in Australia and then she broke up and there was the pain again.
Oh, no! She was German? She was Australian?
Australian, yeah.
Australian, okay.
Yeah,
Damn.
and now we're like 10 years later and realized, dude, all those breakups were pretty important. Like otherwise, like I've learned so much. Like that's I think my biggest growth came from that, like from painful experiences with other people where I really poured my heart out and the heart got broken. Then like, at some point there's so much pain from opening yourself up and looking for answers outside that you at one point now I just realized, dude, I gotta look inside. I can't put like I want to find what's inside me. I want to love myself, first.
Right.
Mm.
Dude, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And like, what was your? So, what your? I assume the next girlfriend was the Korean girlfriend,
Yeah. I
or
moved
you
to
dated around so
Australia.
much, I guess. That
No, it was pretty quick. Like in Australia, the first 2 months I got a girlfriend there in Sydney, and then like after 3 months or something, she broke up, and then I just left and moved to another part of Australia, which was so good. And in the end, like I would have just stayed with her in Sydney, which is not the point when you do a work and travel to just fall in love and stay in
right.
one place. Yeah.
Right. Dude, so what I love is, obviously we met like September 2019, and I remember obviously it was like we met at the open mic where, just to give context, again, like we were in this open mic and you had been at that open mic before as an audience member, and you were having a good time, but you accidentally broke a table, and
Yes.
so you were so embarrassed to go back that you told yourself you'd only go back if you bring a new table, right? And then so you were there, and I mean, already I was really impressed by what a good person you are. Really, I mean that who does that? Absolutely amazing. And then we were hanging. You did your set. That was absolutely cool. And I remember you were not prepared, and so you were like shaking, obviously, because everyone, we just started, so we're really nervous. And then we're hanging, we're talking, and we got along really well. And I remember at Ostkreuz at the station, you told me, like I told you, I think I was from Korea, or I'd already said I was from Korea, but then you just mentioned then, like 1 hour, 2 hours in, that, oh yeah, I lived in Korea for 1.5 years. And I was like, and I remember exactly where we were. We were in Ostkreuz, and I had already liked you, but when you said that, like it was like so many bonus points. And I just remember, because you didn't even mention it before, which I would have loved you for it already, but then, it was like a pleasant surprise. And I mean, especially 1.5 years you lived there. What was your experience like? I mean, obviously I've heard your bits also. We talked about other experiences. What was your overall experience in Korea, and how did it shape you? I mean, you were there when you were 19, 20. So
Yeah. It was a humbling experience, but also like humbling in the sense that, oh wow, those people really work hard. Like after Australia, you think life is so easy and playful. You can just work hard, play hard. Everything's nice, beaches and good weather, and people are very positive. And then Korea was very like everybody was working really hard. Everybody was very polite, but also the society is, I think, the opposite of Australia. Like it's not easy going. It's not, hey, hang loose. No, it's really dress nice and come to work and don't fuck around too much. Like we will go drinking after work, but also we are here to work, and basically, yeah, that's very disciplined people, that's how I mean, I didn't get to really like get deep into the culture because I didn't speak the language, and I didn't learn it. I was just lazy. I learned at the beginning, and then I just had too much fun there and like stopped studying. But it was definitely a humbling experience in the sense of, oh wow, those people work hard, and that's what it means to dedicate yourself to your job or to what your family wants you to do. And also it was, what's the opposite of humbling? It was a little bit, it made me delusional also, because it's now 2012 in South Korea. There were not so many white people there, and I worked as a model there, so I got like, just from being in a village where I maybe had one girlfriend, all of a sudden you're in Korea and you're 19, 20, and everybody thinks you're amazing and hot, and like, they just look up to you, and
yeah,
that lifestyle was just like, oh, I thought I'm such a, it inflated my ego in a sense, that you
Right,
put there,
right.
there's so many girls that are like, oh yeah, so pretty, and you can just party and everybody likes you, wants to take photos with you. So that was the other part of it that was kind of just insane, and in retrospect, it's funny and cool, and I enjoyed it a lot. And I was, I never went partying before. Like when I was in my village until 18, I never partied. Then in Australia, just a little bit, but also really not too much. And then in Korea, I was like, oh, fuck it. I made good money. I was a wanted guy by women, so it was just really enjoyed that and just embraced. Like, I think I got some alcohol poisoning there at least once,
Oh
and
wow.
just really just lived my life like a very hedonistic lifestyle, I would say.
Damn, really? Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, you were living also in No, you were lived a bit further out, right? You didn't live in
Yeah, I
Itaewon.
lived in Itaewon for a little bit, like on the northern part, like when you go up the hill there.
Yeah.
So I could walk down there, and then I lived in Incheon for a little bit, so outside. Incheon is, I
Oh
think,
wow.
in this Incheon,
I think south, yeah, where the airport is, and they actually
exactly.
have the best jjajangmyeon, because they
Mm.
have or one of the best, because they have a big Chinatown. So
Mm.
it's a port city, and they a lot of and jjajangmyeon. What's your favorite Korean food actually?
I always loved the fried kimchi, and when you have like the Korean barbecue, and can you fry your kimchi on it, and also the pork belly, the how do you call
Oh
it?
yeah, samgyeopsal.
Samgyeopsal, yeah. I love that together, like fry the kimchi, fry the samgyeopsal, and then some soju, like that. Oof.
Oh my god, dude,
Good
can you
times,
imagine?
yeah.
Dude, that's we've been friends for what, 6 years now, but we never went to eat Korean together. I think, isn't that crazy?
True,
That's
true.
what a shame. And we should. I mean, you haven't been back since, right?
No, I haven't. I was back there once, like maybe 2016, just for when I worked, when I studied, did my economic studies, and I was working like helping those Korean companies import their clothing.
Right.
I was still working for them and studying on the side, so I went back there for some importing business stuff. So I was
Oh,
there
wow,
back
nice.
once for like a week or so. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Dude, but that's
Since
also
then,
already 10 years. So I mean,
yeah,
jeez, so much
I would
has
be
changed,
down.
right?
I would be
Yeah,
down to go there, man. Do a show or whatever. Yeah, do a comedy
dude,
show.
that would be so much fun. And I tell you all the time, you should joke even more. You have so many experiences. I mean, you're already
Yeah,
incorporating it now.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
because I loved your stories about Korea, and
Thank you.
yeah, they're getting great. Because you also have so many. I mean, you said you were modeling, but you were also acting. You were
A
in.
little bit, yeah. I was such a horrible actor, man. I was so shy, and it's again like I couldn't speak up. Like my voice was cracking. I was too shy to look into the camera. I was like, I was so bad. Like they gave me like in one of the drama series, they gave me like a nice, like a bigger role where I'm really on TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had to dub me. Like they had to use another voice in the after production of this drama show because my voice was just cracking and I was really bad. Yeah, because I was
Oh
so
man,
afraid of it. Yeah.
dude, that's
Uh,
amazing though. What an experience. I mean,
yeah, I remember we were like a crew of like just a couple of foreigners, maybe 10 guys, and we would all like go to those TV shows to work as an extra, right? You get like $100 a day or whatever, it's nothing. And and we would all go there, and then we would have this job together, and afterwards like they were really like jealous of me that I got this part, and then I've messed it up so bad, and they were all afterwards like, yeah, they're never gonna book you again. Like that was really horrible. And I
oh,
remember them, yeah, like being really, they were so happy that I messed up, but also, yeah, doesn't matter in the end. I mean,
wait, the other extras?
yeah. I don't know.
Really? They're. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, but that's just normal. Like we're all from the same pack. All of a sudden, it's like somebody gets a bigger chance that nobody else gets. Like that's a crabs in a bucket thing, right? They want
Oh
to tear you
my
down a
god,
bit.
dude. That's crazy.
People want you to do good, but never better than them, right?
Right. Oh, isn't that Chris Williamson?
I think no. I think many people say
Oh,
it. I
it's
don't know
Chris
where it comes
Williamson
from.
quoting someone else, you mean? Or as
Yeah,
Simon
for
always says.
sure,
Yeah, okay.
for sure.
Dude,
But
yeah, it's crazy. Wow.
yeah, that's the crabs in a bucket. I learned that from Nipsey Hussle, and I don't know where he has it from, but
Damn.
and yeah, I also. Yeah, no hard feelings. I mean, I've been that guy. Maybe we've all been that guy before. It's just a normal thing that I don't know, that it feels good to tear other people down when you're kind of down. And we're also, look at it, dude. They were much older than me. I was like in my maybe 20. They were like 30 already. And we were all just struggling, trying to get some money, trying to make a living. So if you're in that state of mind, you're also thinking and
Mm,
acting out of fear rather than abundance and like in a
right.
positive mindset.
Scarcity.
Yeah, dude, when
Right.
you don't have money and you're struggling, that's just a horrible state and you just make different decisions and you feel different. You just don't feel as good, and you will always like react more emotional to things because you're in a constant fight or flight mode. So your body's always like overreacting a bit.
Right. I mean,
Yeah, so I
there's that
get this.
study. I think I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but there's a study that they did it with farmers instead of paying them out monthly for a year, they paid the whole annual salary all at once in the first month.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first month, they just did IQ tests. And the IQ test, the people who got it in 1 year in one go had a higher IQ.
Wow.
Because they were just, I guess, more confident. They felt good about life in an abundance mindset. And then towards the end of the year, when they had spent most of it or all of it, their IQ had completely dropped. Or not completely, but considerably dropped. Because now they're in scarcity mode, like, oh shit, it's running out. And so, like you say, that has a lot to do with our mindset, has a lot to do with our ability and confidence.
And to think clearly. Yeah.
And to think clearly, exactly. So
I mean, I think that's why also coming back to this one show that you're referring to, where we both did the show and I had such a great and long set. It's really, there was no fear in there, you know. I was I think I was able to think clearly because all I wanted to do was have fun now. And there was no, oh, I have to deliver, there's a camera on. It was more like,
right.
Yeah, just no expectations and no.
That's the crazy part, because I mean, I did not mention this this time, but I had bombed like crazy. So, and I remember it was a complete packed room. We had people even standing on the side, remember? So it was completely full. And the vibe was not really good. I remember I had a tough time up there. And in my head, I was like, I guess the audience is not so good. But then obviously you blew them out of the water. But really, instead of feeling any ill will, I was really just like, my jaw dropped, you know, because it was so amazing, really, from start to finish. You play with the energy so well. I just remember you were standing, then you went on the stool, and then you were standing again. And I remember when you even got the stool, you didn't quickly take it. You really took your time. And I think that really also, that was like the silence thing.
Oh, wow. I did it unconsciously, but yeah, definitely that works. Like taking your time and being confident and not rushing. I think that's good. I think that's in life always, right? But
I mean, do you know that this is a bad example? I mean, good example of a bad person, but do you know, have you seen Hitler, A Career on Netflix?
No.
No, it's a German documentary. It's on Netflix, and they show Hitler when he was giving a speech, I think in Nuremberg, in just before the Second World War, like 1937 or something, and it's completely loud. It's very loud because it's in a stadium, and people are chit chatting, and he's already on stage, and so it's very loud, and he's just standing there. And he's just standing there for really, like, I don't know, 2 minutes or so, and you can hear the whole stadium of, I don't know, 80,000 people just quiets down. And then at some point, it's so silent, and then he waits another 30 seconds. And then he just starts talking, and dude, I mean, this is a despicable guy. We hate him, but really, like, when I saw that, I was like, oof. You feel this. As soon as he starts talking, you were like, there's this moment of... it's weird to say because obviously you don't want to give him any compliment, but it shows the principle definitely is there where apparently Napoleon did the same. He did not talk when he went on stage, and he took his time. And then once he started speaking, it was really, really impressive.
Yeah, people respect it more, huh? What is it about? Like we also feel like that, right? Like the quiet person in the room is usually the one that we respect more, like depending on the body language, obviously. Like if you're like that, then not. But,
right.
But yeah, we respect that when people like can take their time with things.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because when somebody can't hold the silence, it's also perceived as a form of weakness, right? Because we know, that person's a bit scared, can't hold the silence.
Right. Like a chihuahua, right.
Yeah, or like Mark Normand, like we feel his anxiety a little bit, right?
True. But on the other hand, we love him for it, right? Every time when we saw him live in Berlin, every time he did this, all those, dude, all those moments, we loved it. And his stand-up, besides yours, was the best I've seen live.
We love it because he owns it, right? He really owns it.
He's amazing. And dude, I just want to say, dude, you're absolutely amazing. I absolutely love you. And thank you so much for doing this pod. It's so, like, everything failed. Like, it's supposed to film with a camera, then I'm, all this stuff. But you were so patient, and I absolutely love you. Since since 2019, you've been one of my closest buddies, and dude, your journey's been absolutely fantastic. Like, as you say, you're even only at the start, even though you've come already so far, and the future holds so much. And really, my sister even said, like, when we hung out in the park view last week, my sister hasn't seen you in like a year or more, and she said, like, you were so different. And
Yeah,
she
thank you.
loved, she really emphasized how much she loved you and how much, what an aura you had.
Yeah,
And
I love you too, man. Thank you. And I mean, we've been working together. You've been coaching me a little bit. I mean, you have a big knowledge on
Yeah.
sports psychology and about performance. And
But
yeah,
I learned
man.
so much from you too, dude. Really,
Thank you.
you're
Thank you.
absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. And
Yeah, but I would love to. I'm looking forward to more episodes on your podcast, like also with other people. I'm excited. What's the goal for the podcast?
so the goal is, I always wanted to do a podcast, and I was waiting because I did not know what I should name it and what kind of positioning I should put it, because there's so many podcasts where people just talk to each other. And so I didn't want to just start and, but then what happened was I waited for so many months, and I kept asking ChatGPT, give me some names and give me some, and there's so many, but I really wasn't sure which one to pick. And all it resulted in was me waiting. And then I read High Agency by George Mack again, and the guy was saying basically, don't wait, see everything as an experiment and just get going. And I just thought, what would a high agency person do? Would that person really just wait the whole time, or just get going and have more data points? I mean, I told myself I would like to do a podcast, but who knows? Maybe after doing 100 episodes, I might hate it, right? I don't even know. But now I'll know, and I will know what my guests like, what my audience likes. I can learn so much. And so even in the beginning, I didn't mention any podcast name because I just don't simply have one. And
bro, but the name also doesn't matter. Like, what matters is that you're
not as
doing
much,
something
maybe.
that you,
Maybe.
it's really like, just do your thing. You will find a name, and you will soon just keep being you, man. And like, you're inspiring. You're helping me a lot in becoming a better person and a better comedian. I really
Same,
learned a
dude.
lot from you.
Same.
And yeah, man, just keep it up. I look forward to more episodes. Also, maybe like things that you're really interested in. I mean, other
Thank
people,
you.
but also, yeah, I could see you talking to maybe people from sports or from psychology or whatever. I mean, the stuff that you're interested in anyway, right?
Yeah, that's the goal. And eventually, my big goal was I eventually
Arnold.
want to Arnold. Yeah, that's my big goal. I mean, this will be the first episode. Let's see. But I wanted to. I was thinking I'd love to do one live actually eventually with him. I'm calling it here, or live in Vienna and the Wiener Staatsoper or somewhere in the opera house, somewhere like that. I thought that would be really cool. Austrians absolutely love him. I mean, worldwide, obviously people love him, but Austrians we absolutely love it. And so,
or you would come up to one of his cabins in the woods in the mountains of Austria, and you set up your cameras there and your lighting and interview him there for like 30 minutes. Huh?
I mean, that would be amazing too. That would be absolutely. I mean, I'd love to interview him in Santa Monica, where he, or Santa Barbara. Yeah, Santa Monica, I think, where his office is. And in any case, that's a goal. But dude, I'm so happy to have you on this journey. I not just mean this podcast, but just in life.
Yeah.
That you're absolutely one of my closest friends, and really biggest heart of pure gold, really. And you're absolutely amazing. And your comedy, dude. When is your podcast dropping?
I'm recording now. I just got the better camera on last week on Thursday, so a couple of days ago. So now the setup is complete, and I want to start uploading.
So now you have 2 cameras?
Yeah, 2 good cameras, and like a third one maybe for like a total. But let's see. And yeah, I want to start uploading stand-up in the beginning of September and uploading podcast beginning of October. Like, that's the timeline.
That's amazing.
Let me ask you one thing about the Pascal who started stand-up in 2019. What kind of advice would you give to him if you could like go back in time now? What would you tell him?
The one advice I would tell him is, I mean, I just thought about it now when you asked me. I did something similar actually when I did stand-up. I also just waited so long. I waited for 6 years in stand-up to do stand-up because I was always like, oh, it has to be good. It has to be, I don't know how to start. And then Dragos just signed me up because I met him by accident in a co-working space. And then I told myself, okay, I'll do it 100 times and then I'll see. And that's the only goal. And I will stop if I don't like it, but 100 times I have to do it. And if I really don't see any progress after 100 times, then I know I'm not good at this. But until then, I cannot judge myself. And so I did it, and I knew already, I once I do it once, I already thought I will love it, and lo and behold, I did. And then 100 times went super fast. But that was also the problem. I think the first years, I was only focusing on doing stand-up, on doing like gigs. So I was chasing those numbers of going on stage, but I didn't write as much. And
You
I
are
think
busy
that
but not
habit,
productive.
exactly. So I think I learned a lot, obviously, from going on stage, and that really helped, because the first 50 times I was so nervous, and I really felt like having a stomach pain every single time, but that disappeared. So it helped for sure, but I would emphasize, I think, write more from the beginning. What about you?
What do you mean write more? Like just write more jokes?
Yeah, I feel like in the beginning, or even now for roasts, I always properly sit down and write for that person in terms of roasts or subjects when I was starting out. But then I started only just editing jokes, or I had an idea and then I would try it at a show live and then edit from there. And I feel like I did sit down to write jokes, but not as much as I should, especially in 6 years. And so that's a habit now I'm trying to cultivate now. And so, yeah, that's it. So and I would only try it on stage once it's really refined and I know it makes me laugh. And then, yeah.
So your advice would be to write more to your younger self?
Yeah, yes. That would be
or to focus more on the writing instead of just going to gigs?
No, not really, because I think in the beginning it is good to go to a lot of, because then it gets normalized.
Yeah.
I think it is good. Or, I mean, I notice now, like, just visualizing, because I'm not doing sets that much right now, but I do visualize going on stage. And I did notice when I do then go on stage, it feels kind of normal.
Yeah. Your brain gets used to it. Yeah. For
exactly,
your brain,
because
it's safety to be on stage.
Exactly. The brain, for the brain, it's hard to differentiate imagined and a real experience. So for my brain, it feels a bit like I'm going on stage every other night, regardless, or multiple times even per night. So I noticed that helps. So yeah, I could do that, I guess, in the beginning as well, but definitely write and think of new jokes. And then that skill also gets better and better. So
yeah. And how could you incorporate that knowledge now into podcasting? Like, imagine you would have been podcasting for like 6 years. Do you think that's like applicable? I'm just thinking now.
Oh, it's a good point, dude. I mean, what's your dude? Really, how do you say, no filter. What's your feedback on this? I mean, really, I felt like immediately when I started, I felt like, oh damn. Like obviously it was a joke also, but when I said, this is my second podcast after having the one with Ali, and I asked him also to be my first guest, and they were like, oh, I'm second choice. And immediately, obviously it was a joke, but I was like, oh, damn it, I shouldn't have said that. And what a bad intro, I should have immediately introduced you as who you are and all this stuff.
Funny.
So I was like, gosh.
That's perfect, because you're just honest, and that's, I think, what people want in a podcast. Just be completely honest and authentic. And if that was your process, dude, how weak would my character be if I take that as an insult? Like, what?
Yeah,
dude, I think we wouldn't be friends if I was. Yeah.
Right.
I would be a horrible friend if I take that as an offensive thing. Like, you should like really end our friendship if someone's behaving like that, dude, that's somebody you should block for sure. So what was the question? No, dude, it's cool, man. Just keep doing your thing. I mean, just being honest and authentic. I think that's what people love. And I'm just thinking, because we're both at the same point now, starting a new podcast. What can we learn maybe from the stand-up journey that we can incorporate now in stand-up? That's what I'm thinking.
Bro, I think, honestly, I'm really saying this because, you see this on you can't really see my setup right now, but I'm filming on my camera, on my phone camera, just so that I can then sync it. You see my laptop version, right, which is a bit more grainy. And even I also only noticed my phone was starting filming, was not filming. So I only start filming 5 minutes in or something. But I have this, and I have to sync. My camera just died before we recorded, so I can't use the best camera. So all this stuff, it's not very, it's unfortunately not there yet. But yours is super high professional, and I think that's really good in the age of virality. Also, when you make a clip, it's gonna look amazing, and so the growth. I just thought I'll do this because I want to. I just can't do it because I can't. I live a bit far. I can't ask people to come all the way here, and and also like I couldn't talk to you right now because we're so many kilometers away. So I thought digitally is how I'll get going, and then eventually in the future I would like to have a studio like yours, or like Joe Rogan or whoever.
But no, let's get back to focus. Like, how can we
so
scale?
I'm just saying, Oh, okay.
I think it would be like something like, all right, the stand-up, we got better when we write regularly, when we write a lot, when we go on stage a lot, and like just really zoning in. And for podcasting, it might be the same, like really focusing on writing a lot, which means like writing who do I want to interview, like what do I want to do with the podcast, and really get better at that, which is reaching out to people and just filming. And I mean, just for our little thing here, we learned already, right, a little bit more about the setup. Like I learned now more about how it is to record an online podcast instead of in person. In the future, I think there will be also podcasts I will do that are just
for sure
camera to camera, right?
Yeah.
So seeing this how this works, feeling this, knowing I want to get a better setup for online stuff too. I mean, that helps. There's already a learning, and maybe like you said, like see everything more as an experiment. Who said that?
George Mack from highagency.com.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe like how can we now apply the high agency, which is maybe we can talk about it after the podcast, but that's what I was just thinking about. How can we now apply high agency and also incorporate our learnings from stand-up comedy, which is don't wait, just go for it and make the product better along the way. I mean,
right.
Dude, I've been investing in the studio here and building this up for like 2 months now. I could have just started recording 2 months ago also, So now I'm like 2 months behind in that sense. I mean, we never know, right? What's the best thing? But I think, let's just get going.
Definitely. I mean, I think you are getting going. So, I mean, I even asked you when we recorded, that was in like, 10 days ago or more now?
Yeah, 10 days.
I asked you, when are you publishing? And I think at the time was September. And I asked, why not now? And then you said, no, but because I want to have multiple already lined up so that... And I understand that, though. I think that's... when he says go, it doesn't also mean like you have a clear strategy behind it.
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome. And like you said, go, as in the sense that... we just ask the people we want to interview and we just get going. And it will only get better. And also... as an exercise also, I looked at some of my favorite podcasts and listened or watched the first or second episode. And all of them sucked in comparison to now. So you just see everyone gets better. And
beautiful.
Honestly, who even watches the first episode anymore, right? Unless you want that specific... actually, the first I think people do watch, but second, third, fourth, not as much. So I think this will be amazing because I think it's awesome that it's so meta. So we're talking about our first journey, and look, dude, you're gonna be, I'm calling it already now, you're gonna be the podcaster in the German-speaking world / internationally, because with AI, who knows? I mean, languages will be not a constraint anymore. So how cool is it that we talk about...
And I mean, that's our talks normally. Like, that's the cool thing. We didn't write any script. Maybe you thought of some questions before, but that's how we actually are in person. We just talk about how can we get better, what are our projects, what are we excited about. So this is this is just natural and cool for us.
Exactly. So, I mean, what were the steps? I mean, for me, I can tell you, it's really the high agency thing was, I will try to get 200 episodes, and that's why I was digital, because I can just get it done. And because I used to have a podcast, and the problem there was we used to film once a week, and it was kind of a hassle, just editing it and everything. That was really a pain. So I thought, okay, at some point, even though it was fun, you just don't want to do it anymore. And that's why we quit, unfortunately. And so the goal was to keep it as low effort as possible. Not that we don't care, but just that the editing and stuff, keep it on the low end, so that you can really just focus on doing the podcast itself. And so that has been my goal, and I just want to get to 100. And then I know by that time I already have gotten so much better. So that's my high agency principle, and I'll ask my friends, and then eventually, I mean, the end boss is Arnold. But until then, as you said, I mean, those people are on my list, actually. The coaches, athletes, authors. I love to talk to those kinds of people. So,
yeah, I mean, we know where we're going. We know what we have to do along the way. Now it's just about execution. Yeah, for me, I think for me, I'm really investing a lot in my system now. You know, I've shown you my big thing, which is like this huge paper where I'm writing like the whole strategy of the brand with stand-up, with content, and with the podcast. And now I'm really investing a lot in creating a good system. Yeah. And I mean, the only way to create a system is also by doing it and then seeing what works and what doesn't.
Right.
So,
What did you already learn? I mean, you already recorded almost 10, right?
No, I recorded maybe 4. What did I learn? First of all, I learned that I enjoy this, that it comes easy for me,
awesome.
which is so nice. It's like with stand-up, boom, it's like I love to do it. I would do it for free. We are doing it for free at the moment. That people like doing them, like where I thought I have to, like it has a value for them as well. I thought like, are they doing me a favor by doing it, but they get a value out of it as well. A good video, just a good time, get their brand out there or their message. And they enjoy it just as a person, also not just as a business, but as a interpersonal thing. I learned that. I learned also like about the cameras, right? I learned like how lighting works now better. I learned how to set up a camera better. I learned that there's still a bit of a weird time where there's a switch from talking to now we're recording and something changes. So I know I have to work with that to make it better for my guest to experience. I'm just learning about how to conversate, like I think, how to ask good questions or how to stay present, how to be a good listener. I'm developing there. And I just found a different valve also for my curiosity, which is great, like a different outlet for my curiosity. So, and I mean, that's just the beginning. I'm just really curious of where we can go with this and what we can do. I mean, my end boss right now is my dad, because he's, we had a very difficult relationship. We've worked around this a lot. And I think this is like a huge part of my growth is how I work on the relationship with my dad. And that's the big dream now, to interview him pretty soon, because he's old and tired and sick, and he might not, who knows how long he's going to live. So that also puts agency behind my back. It's like, oh, I have to get this stuff going. He's not going to come here to Berlin, so I have to find a way to take this whole setup or most of it and bring it to his place, and then also obviously convince him to even do it. Like that's another one.
But so you already recorded some with your dad, right?
We did one already. Yeah. But already there was some audio. A little bit of audio was fucked up. Then a little bit of the video was messed up. So like, you know how it is, man. It's like, as long as you don't have a great system in place, there's always going to be little fuck ups that you just find out afterwards. So yeah, now it's all coming together. I mean, it's like the stand-up and the sketches and the content and Instagram, and now the podcast it's like 3 different art forms I'm trying to get good at.
Right.
And I know the best thing would be just to dive into one, but I'd also think like, dude, let's just try to do it all. Yeah.
Yeah, I also think because they are interconnected in a way.
Yeah, they're interconnected, and also, I have curiosity for that. There's energy flowing when I think about it. It excites me, so why not?
Right. And one builds the other. Joe Rogan wouldn't be the comedian without UFC and his podcast.
Joe,
and vice versa. So that's absolutely awesome. And dude, it's awesome that I thought your end boss would be that author actually that you want to interview.
Yeah, I think that will all happen. Like, I'm not so worried about it. I'm pretty, I believe that those things will all happen naturally. Like, there's authors and people I look up to from science that I want to interview, that's going to happen. Just with my dad, it's, there's more emotions involved and stuff like that. But that's why it's so big, and so it could be healing for, like, I don't know.
Oh man,
I mean,
dude, it's amazing. When you told me that you had talked to your dad and recorded, that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, dude, it was. Yeah, and that excites me so much. So I'm looking forward to doing it again.
Wow, dude, what a oh my god, that's amazing. What
Yeah.
are there so many questions that you did not cover yet in the other?
No, I have to go over it again. I think we can do like some similar questions again, and I found some more questions and some just more things where I want to just let him talk and just, let's see where it goes. But there's definitely so many things to talk about. Yeah.
Right.
Good.
Dude,
I mean,
absolutely. We could also talk ages. Dude, thank you so very much, Richie. Really. I love you as a
Love you
brother, as a fellow comedian, and as an inspiration. You're absolutely amazing. And dude, we've got it timestamped now. It's August 2025. We'll look at it 5 years from now. And dude,
congrats on
you'll be
your first episode, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. So much has failed. Dude, my iPhone actually, my storage is full on my iPhone. So believe it or not, that
we're gonna do another episode soon, dude.
We'll do another episode. So thank you so much, man. It's been absolutely a pleasure. And speak soon, dude. Love you.
Same here, man. Love you. Bye bye.
See ya.